Hey guys, Omni here. Just got back from seeing Free Guy in the theater, and this film was a blast to say the least. I was pleasantly surprised by this film and blown away, quite honestly. Like, it's not like a perfect film by any stretch of the imagination. It definitely has its problems, but my God, is it a fun, energetic, uplifting movie. It's just it's just a blast. It's directed by Shawn Levy, who is, based on how you interpret certain things, might be the director for Deadpool 3, pairing up with Ryan Reynolds once again. The story for this comes by Matt Lieberman, who is a writer on Scoob, the 2019 Addams Family film. Out of those, I've only really, out of his entire library that I've seen his filmography so far that he's written for, I've only really seen Scoob, and I can see some elements in here, but he had a co-writer to help with the screenplay, who is Penn, who has got credits on The Avengers, The Incredible Hulk, X2, and Ready Player One, which again, you can see similar elements in this of that. This film is, when I saw the trailers for it, I was like, okay, this is like like your typical Hollywood attempt at replicating video game culture on screen. But honestly, while it does kind of feel a little bit like that, it gets a lot right, surprisingly. Honestly, taking a lot of cues from the recent popularity, well, not even recent, because it's been, forever now? We've been living in it forever now, GTA Online. Like, it takes a lot of cues from GTA Online and brings that into this. And I did play that for quite some time, and I've seen other people play it. Like, it feels like that. The world that they're living in, the way it's being controlled, and the way it operates, the way the players interact with the NPCs and definitely treat them. And it's just a lot of fun, and it plays with it really well. Ryan Reynolds does a fantastic job in this. He is just hilarious. He's Ryan Reynolds. If you kind of know his shtick, but he definitely has, it plays to his strengths in this, and he definitely gets some heart out of this character, man. He really tugs the heartstrings at a couple moments in this. Surprisingly, this movie got me to tear up quite a bit, to be honest, throughout a lot of different areas, man. And Jodie Comer, who I haven't seen in anything before, who plays the co-lead in this with Ryan Reynolds. She's the female character player that we see in the trailers that he kind of becomes infatuated with. It's really, really interesting how that whole dynamic plays into the whole story there. I won't go into it at all. The supporting cast in this movie are just as entertaining. Lil Rel Howery does a fantastic job as Guy's best friend in this world. He is the security officer that we see in the trailers. He is just fantastic, hilarious. Keery's in here. If you know him from Stranger Things, he plays a key role in the story of the film. I'm probably going to butcher this, but Utkarsh Ambudkar does a fantastic job in this, playing Keery's character's friend who works with him within the video game development company that is spearheading this game. And he's like this corporate kiss ass who is also kind of friends with Keery's character. But you can also see how they have like diverging paths and like their ambitions. And it plays into the story really well. And it's a really entertaining scene. Honestly, that character have a little bit of an arc, which is pretty interesting. And of course, at the tip top of this whole thing, you've got Taika Waititi in here as the corporate villain, the guy that is running this game, running this big AAA corporation that has taken over this game. There are a couple cameos throughout the film from famous YouTubers and Twitch streamers, which I thought would take me out of the film, but honestly, I think it accentuated the story in a way, which was really interesting. There's a couple of great interviews you could see with them and how their process for being interjected into the film went. You could check out the interviews from Soups or The Real Rejects. Greg Alba and John interviewed a bunch of them over there. I definitely recommend hearing that process because honestly, I think that helped ground the film a little bit, especially for us here, knowing and being in this world quite a lot. It honestly felt kind of real seeing their reactions, the way that they played into the story. I thought it worked, actually, which I thought was going to be like a weird, cringy kind of idea, and honestly, I think it played out quite the opposite for me. I don't know. I don't think everybody's going to feel that way, but for me, I felt like it worked and helped ground the story a little bit in kind of our world and how this sphere kind of operates. Because a couple of them I actually watched, so it definitely felt legitimate to me. Of course, being set in the video game sphere, this movie is not without its references to some famous iconography, which I won't get into because I'll leave those surprises for you guys to discover. This movie, like I said, it's got its flaws. It has some very similar tropes that you would see in a lot of things. As far as the humor goes, they do step up to the plate as often as they can, and it doesn't always get knocked out of the park, but when it does, it really gets your gut splitting, man. There's a couple of scenes in this that actually get like Marvel level reactions out of the audience. My theater, there was quite a few moments out this. They were just hooping and hollering about what was happening on screen. There's some surprises in here that I think a lot of people might not expect out of the film, and it's a lot of fun. This movie's funny. It's got a lot of heart. I highly recommend this film. Like I said, even though it's not perfect, I think it is a blast in the theater. It played very well. I think it worked in more ways than it didn't, and it was just a lot of fun. And that's what I like going to the theater for, is fun. I don't always need Shakespeare or Scorsese or anything like that when I go to the movie theater. I want to feel something. I want to have fun with the interaction, with the experience of being in the theater. Between Suicide Squad and this film, I'm really glad that I saw both of these in the theater and I had a blast. And honestly, I might go back and see it again. You know, this not being on streaming is an alternative where the first time I saw Suicide Squad, I was just like, all right, cool. I really want to watch this again. So I did when I came home because it was on HBO Max, which is kind of the working against the film right now as a whole, as far as its box office at the moment. Free Guy right now is only in theaters, and I do think it's worth the theatrical trip if you are safe about it. And if you're in an area where it's not too risky to make that trip, I don't want to make that judgment call for you, but I do think it was a really fun theatrical experience, and I do recommend this movie. If you can't safely go see it right now, definitely hit this thing up when it is out on DVD or whenever it hits whatever streaming platform and it ends up going to. Again, this isn't like highbrow like entertainment by any stretch of the imagination, but it is fun. It is fun. It hit me in all the right ways. So anyway, guys, I want to know your thoughts. If you've seen Free Guy, sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Join us in the Discord. We could talk about it there as well, or about anything else that's going on in the movie space or on TV. Come hang out. Links to that and all my socials in the description of this video. Before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends, Mandy Scher, Ryan, Karen, Jason Coleman, and Philly Vane. Thank you guys, as always, for your support. Thank you for everybody who's been tuning into this. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a like. Give me a subscribe if you're not already. But otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.